I was recently approved for a Chase business line of credit for $150,000. Yes, 150K. I'll insert the clip here. It's 150,000 right there. So yeah, it's all there. And I was just thinking, I haven't spoke about how I actually use this 150K business line of credit to grow and scale my company. So in this video, I'm going to tell you exactly how I've been using this 150K and how you could also use your business funding, whether that be business lines of credit or a business loan or a business credit card, to grow and scale your company to at least some of the most common ways and how I do it. So without any further ado, come on, let's go. What's going on? It's Colin Brown here for Business Credit Unlimited. I'm back at it. Make sure you hit the like button right now. Stop playing. Hit the like button right now. Don't even play with it. It's free. Hit the like button right now and make sure that you like, or I already said that, but subscribe and comment, okay? Because nobody else is putting out this information. Matter of fact, I did look and I couldn't find anyone else that had either 100K or higher in this Chase business line of credit that was able to do it with no docs. Not saying I'm the only one. I'm far from the only one. Chase is probably approving someone for that right now for 150K or 250K or something crazy, $1 million or something. I ain't the only one. I ain't saying nothing like that. Just saying I haven't seen someone make a video on it like I have on YouTube. It's probably out there. I just haven't seen it. But either way, so make sure that you like for that, man, because I'm putting the information out here from someone that actually has gotten got approved for it and knows how to tell someone, instruct them how to do it too as well. So anyway, how I use my Chase BLOC, my business line of credit for 150K to scale my company. Now, a lot of times I want to just get this out the way right now. When it comes to a business line of credit, especially at this amount, 150K, this ain't going to be something you're going to be able to do just easily, just starting out in business. It's not going to happen. On my video, I go through and I show you my different metrics and different things like that. Just so you know, I'm not a brand new business owner. I'm not someone that just started. I don't have an average personal credit score and anything like that. So without having an above average credit score, without having a business that's generating a certain amount of revenue per month or annually, you won't be able to get access to something like this. But the things that I'm going to go over, it will apply even if you are a brand new business owner. You don't have 150K, at least in a BLOC, but maybe you got 150K in business credit cards or 50K or 100K. So these are just some of the things that I do personally in my business. So one thing that you can do is, and not just for 150K, it's just something that I'm thinking of here. You can use your funding to get access to more funding. What does that mean? So the game of business is cash flow. It's cash flow. It's cash flow. That's the lifeline of a business. Okay, cash is king, not credit. A lot of people that do credit repair and things like that, it gets them to, start saying things like credit is king. No, it is not. Okay, credit is just a tool to use to get cash. You guys have to understand that. I'm not sure why so many people just like do not get that, but at the same time, it is what it is. All right. Now, when it comes to getting more cash in a business, because that is the lifeline, without cash, your business fails because every business has expenses. I don't care what you do, how low your profit margin is, or how high your profit margin is and how low your expenses and overhead is. You're going to have some type of expenses. And if you can't pay that because no money's coming in, your business then dies. Or if you have money coming in, but your expenses are higher than that, your business still dies. So it's all about cash flow, baby. It's all about that. Cash is king in a business, okay? But the game is to make sure that you have enough funds to absorb any type of hit that your business faces, whether it's changes in your industry. You got like a COVID-19. Think about how many people that impacted. You're probably someone that got impacted by that. Let me know in the comments. But either way, when you have something like that going on, it doesn't have to be something as big as that. Just like someone leaves your company a pivotal part of your company, someone leaves it, or you get sick, anything, you're the CEO and you get sick, anything like that. You want to be able to have cash to kind of get the business over any type of dry spells, dry seasons, meaning that sales and revenue is not hitting the exact same as it should be, right? When it comes to that, you want cash. You want to have some type of way to get access to some funds, even if you have to borrow it to get yourself over the hump. So when it comes to this line of credit, you can use this or any type of business funding that you have, unless you have a specific project. Sometimes you don't want to go all the way out 100% max everything out unless, you're using it to bring in more money, because you want to keep a portion there just so that you have access to some cash. I haven't spent all 150K of this line of credit yet, not even close to it, really. Not even close to it. Over 100 I have available right now. And it's because I want to make sure I can absorb anything that happens, so that if I need that, or like I wrote here, to get access to more funding. Okay, what does that mean? Like when you're opening business checking accounts, now you got some cash for that. Establishing relationships with other banks, things like that. So you can always have access to more funding. Now, when it comes to funding, look, a lot of people run their business without these things. Most people have at least a business credit card, like American Express business credit card or something like that. Even if they're not heavy into the business funding game, they have some type of business credit card because it just makes more sense than just use your money every single time. So this can benefit any business owner. It does not matter. But either way, business funding can 1,000% benefit any business owner. I don't care who you are, what you do. But either way, if you want to get access to some more, now you got funds that you don't have to use your own money for. So that's just something there that I was thinking of. Like, now I know that when I open a new business checking account, I don't have to necessarily just one-to-one take from the cash that's already there in cash reserves, or not accounts receivable, your basically your cash reserves in your business. I don't have to take from that directly one-to-one to start a relationship with another bank, or just to show liquidity to another bank. I already have access to that. So that's something that you can do. Now, that's something that I do. Now, for you guys that are real estate investors, this can 1,000% fund your real estate deals, whether that be down payments, renovations, or, etc. Right? Because there's so many different things. You could be buying and holding, you can be fixing and flipping, whatever your real estate strategy is. Because sometimes, like, if someone says I do real estate and they don't tell me the strategy, I know they probably like just starting, because there's strategies in real estate. It's not just real estate investing. Like, what do you do within real estate investing? But either way, so within whatever strategy that you use for real estate investing, you can, of course, use $150,000, right? For some of y'all, that ain't enough. I've talked to plenty of investors. They like, I need a lot more than 150K. But for some of y'all, this is going to be amazing for you, right? Even my realtor, he hit me up and he was telling me about a certain type of loan where I believe it's the DSCR loan, right? Where it more goes, that loan is lended to you more off of the actual deal than your personal credit and your financials and different things like that, right? So that's something that you newer real estate investors can look into. So you got different deals like that, or different different avenues that you can use within real estate that you can use this 150K business line of credit for if you had it, or your business funding in general. Because I know everyone doesn't have this. Again, it's thousands of people that have this. I'm not the only one or nothing like that. It's not that rare, but at the same time, I know everyone doesn't have it all at the same time too. So I'm just giving you other options. So here's my biggest thing. I was talking about like having cash reserves and cash being the absolute lifeline of your business. So to me, security is everything. Because the psychological, the mental aspects of business is not spoken about enough. as being a CEO and just having the comfort that you're not just one deal away from being out of business. Like you have to close this next deal or else you out of business. Those different things does a lot to the business owner or the CEO, whoever is running the business, because now you know you got a little breathing room. And that's why I suggest having funding, even if you don't quote unquote need it, because of the security that it provides, which in turn is, possible to make you more productive depending on your personality. Because I don't know, it just feels better knowing that you got $150,000 in your business checking account versus only having 150, right? Like it's a lot more motivating when you know you got some money to play with, and you got some proof of concept, especially too when you actually running and operating a business. So security is a huge thing for me. I talk about it a lot, and that's one of the main things that is provided for me. Is just knowing, okay, I have a cushion, right? Like more times than not, like 9 times out of 10, I'm not going to do anything so risky that I need all of it. So I know that I can absorb, at least a minor hit, guys. 150K won't cover everything, but I can at least absorb, especially when you add other types of funding that I have, my business credit cards, my business loans, and the cash that I already have from generating revenue inside of the company. So I know I can absorb a hit or two before anything happens. So that's amazing for me. Now, here is a thing too. Pay down business credit cards. So you can use your business lines of credit, if you have them, to pay down business credit cards. Why? Because business credit cards, the interest rate is typically going to be a lot higher than it will be on a business or on your business credit card. Interest rate is normally going to be higher than your business line of credit interest rate. So if you got a 12% business line of credit, but your credit card interest is 25% or something like that, if you use that to pay it down and it was beneficial for you to do so, right? Now you can pay down on the line of credit, you pay down on the card, and then boom. So this could be a way of a debt consolidation, right? To pay down on your business credit card, especially if you're paying a lot in interest. Like some business credit cards, the interest rate could be quite high, right? Like a capital on deck, which requires you to pay 10% every single month. So say if you use 20,000, say if your limit is 25, you use 20,000 of that 25,000. Well, guess what? You got a 2K minimum monthly payment to pay. But if you use your lines of credit and you pay 20K and pay that down, your minimum payment is not going to be 2K more than likely, right? So now you've saved some money. Boom. So now you can use that extra money, that you're bringing in or that you're retaining every month to pay down more on your cards or do whatever else that you need. Because again, cash is everything. Having access to it is everything. When you get business funding, it's so that you can grow your business to have more cash. That's the only way you can make an impact. That's the only way you can make a change. That's the only way that you can pay the people on your team, employees, so on and so forth, and actually compensate them well enough to do the things they're doing for you, right? And for the company. That's the only way you can do it, is by having resources. So having resources makes the world go round, because the more that you have, the more that you can give. Okay. The more that you can pay, the more impact that you can make. So it's everything, but that's a whole nother topic. But either way, paying down your business credit cards is something I've done with my line of credit, and it's also something that you can do as well. And I did just mention the other next more obvious thing, hire a team. So say if one thing that I see a lot with different prospects and clients is they'll come in and they'll be like, all right, so I work a 9-to-5 job, but I don't, I do work the business, but I don't really have enough time to do everything. If I just had one person on my team, or if I was able to hire someone for customer service to take calls while I'm at work, or to cold call this, or to do this or that for me when I'm at work. So that way we can still be bringing in money, and I could use that to leave my job, so on and so forth. So hiring a team is vital for these types of scenarios, right? Or just in general, because you're never going to grow without a team. It's just not going to happen. The math, like business is also math too. A lot of times we just completely don't understand that, or just discount it running a business is math. Okay. It's all about math. It's like no emotions. It's just math. Okay. And the math just ain't go math right when you only have one person trying to run a whole show for the most part. Okay. Obviously, there's some businesses that you can run completely by yourself. Absolutely. Right. I mean, like my wife is a hairstylist. She's able to do that for the most part by herself. But depending on the type of company that you run, a product or service based business, like you're going to need some help. And even with her, if she wanted to do something a little bit different, right, where she's ran a business with multiple employees before. But either way, that's another topic. But either way, if she wanted to do something different, even within that business, she would have to hire a team. So having a team, even if it's just for social media posts and content and different things like that, or what have you, having an assistant to keep your calls or keep your calendar organized, or whatever the case is, right? There's so many different team members. It depends on your business and your service that you're providing. For us to, we can't really go in details without knowing exactly what it is that you do, but hiring a team, you want to have cash for that, because using credit to pay a team, normally it's going to be expensive, because if you use a credit card, 9 times out of 10, it's going to be higher than what it would be if you use a line of credit or you just use the cash that you get from your business, right? So hiring a team, that's definitely 1,000% going to be something that you can do, and that I've used my business line of credit for. Now, one big thing, I will say the last thing, I'll just stop it here. Paid advertising. Oh my gosh. So remember, like I said, business is all about math. And you have to think about it like this, especially for you guys that's either a product or service-based business, right? If you run a company like me, like a consulting company, or even if you run a product-based business, if your product is, let's just use this for even math, $100, right? And only 100 total people know your product exists. And then, of course, whatever product you sell, everyone that knows it exists, only a very small portion of that people will ever buy it. Then the math, you're never going to hit, $1 million annually or a month or whatever your goal is, 6 figures or what have you, if not that many people know you exist, right? The math just doesn't math, right? Like the young people say now, the math just ain't mathing, right? You have to have exposure for business. People don't know you exist. Like Doritos, they run a campaign always throughout Super Bowls, right? But who doesn't know what a Dorito is? Comment and let me know. You never heard of Doritos before, right? But they still consistently run ads on one of the most viewed shows, the Super Bowl, every single year. Not just Doritos. I'm just, picking on them for a second, but a bunch of like beer companies and different things like that. They run campaigns, they run ads or paid advertising, because they have to pay for that 10-second slot, the 30-second slot, like millions of dollars. But you think they would be throwing millions of dollars at the wall if they wasn't actually producing even more than that in sales? Yeah, obviously. So you're never at the point where you don't need new eyeballs on your business and on you and your brand. So this is everything, right? And paid advertising is more of my speed, because I don't like to just post like all day, every day. And I don't know, it's just personally, it's just not my vibe really. So I post, but I'm not like posting every 3 seconds, like 3 to 5 posts every single day and all that. I just don't personally like to do that. Even if I had someone to do it for me, it's just not my favorite thing. I like paid advertising and I'd use paid advertising on Meta and even here on YouTube. So when I say Meta, I mean Facebook and Instagram. But the reason I like paid advertising is because I get to look at this thing, from a math standpoint. If I spend this amount of dollars, it costs me this amount to get this amount of leads. It costs me this much to book a call, and it costs this much to acquire a client. Then I know that if I put in this much, then I'm going to get this much leads, this many book calls, and this many clients. I love knowing that, right? So if you figure out everything on the front end as far as ads and different things like that, you get those metrics right, then you know that what you put in the machine is going to spit out this amount. So it's like you get to predict how much revenue that you're making in your company. But you can't do this without cash, right? Of course, you use credit. Like, matter of fact, 0% business credit cards is ideal for paid advertising, whether you're new, intermediate, or advanced, because you get to put the money out there and not pay interest on it. So I love that. I use it, right, for my paid advertising, 0% business credit cards. However, having cash, just in case, the ads not hidden like they, like you want them to, especially starting out in different things like that. Having cash is everything for that as far as paid advertising. So these are just some of the things. Now, there's more going on here. Maybe I have to do a part 2 or kind of run this back at another date. But these are just some of the things that I thought of here quickly of how I'm using this $150K business line of credit that I got from Chase to scale my business. Now, I do have like pretty much 2 videos on this going more into details about what my data points are, what data points you need to have, how to get access to this line of credit at no docs or without providing any documentation at all. It's possible, but it's not as easy, or it's not what people think as far as you just walk into a bank and different things like that. Even if your business is structured properly. I saw somebody say that when I was looking for videos. They're like, oh, you got to structure your company properly and then you can get it. No. You got to be making revenue. Let's be real. Let's cut out the BS. You ain't finna get no 100K business line of credit, 150K business line of credit just by walking into the bank and structuring and having your business structured properly with no docs. It ain't gonna happen. Okay, so that's pretty much it, guys. What questions do you have about this topic as far as how to use funding to scale your company? Just if you don't take anything else away from this video, just know that you're getting business funding to actually create revenue, to get cash. Okay, that's the only way around it. All right, a lot of you guys are getting business funding just to brag about approvals. I don't personally understand that, but I used to have a little bit of that me too. I used to just like, I don't know, I like the thrill of just kind of getting approved in testing banks like that. I get it, guys, I get it. But if you are that same person, just know, hey, it's time to upgrade. You get access to some funding. It's time to use it. It's time to hone down on just one thing, not 5 different businesses, not even 2 different businesses. Just pick one thing at one time. That's another thing. Matter of fact, this is what you need to take away from this video. If you're just starting out, one thing at one time. Don't listen to the people. Don't listen to the 7 streams of revenue stuff. You can't do 7 streams of revenue until you have at least 1 stream of revenue going, and then you move on to the second one after the first could grow. Not only just maintain itself, but grow without you being there. Then you have enough time to start something else. But until that point, you're not ready for multiple streams of income. At least when we're talking multiple streams of income, meaning not just one business that you have several ways to get paid from that one business, but if we're talking like a completely separate business that is doing its own whole different thing, yeah, you can't do that until you actually master one. So this is what I will use it for. This is what I do actually use it for in my business. And that's pretty much it. Make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe, because guess what? These funny videos are going to keep coming your way weekly, baby. We not letting up. I do not let up. I don't know how to. So that's pretty much it, guys. See y'all in the next one. Peace.